Okay, cool. So let's now move on to the video, and you're gonna have to work with my questions. I ask a lot of questions, so if you want to
Sure.
pause the video, you can pause the video in between. So,
Okay.
firstly, where is this? This is Hainan, China. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful weather. And where is
Yeah.
this place?
So
This is like, yeah.
so Hainan is a tropical island. So China has two big islands, right? China has two big islands. One is Taiwan and one is Hainan. And Hainan is sitting right in the South China Sea. So it has a very important naval base in Sanya at the end, it's the most southern end of Hainan, and this is where this is what you saw, where the actual commissioning of Fujian took place. And
Yeah.
Highland is basically China's Hawaii. It's a resort island
Yeah,
because it's
yeah, that's what
tropical
it's looking
and
like. Beautiful.
it's tropical. It's beautiful and people go there to eat a lot of seafood basically. So I'm gonna play.
Cool. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So,
So this took place a couple days ago, last week in fact.
could you pause for a second? The one on the left side
Sure.
is the old one, right?
So that is. Let me see.
It
Yes.
has
So you can see
it has a ramp.
it has a
Yeah.
ski jump. Yeah, that's a ski
Yeah,
jump.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So I don't know which one is it, whether it's Liaoding or Shandong is one of it. I can't because they don't have labels. I can't.
Yeah, no,
Shandong and
cool. Yeah.
Liaoding, they're very similar in their shape. So
Mm,
it's one of the older aircraft carriers. Yeah,
yeah.
you're correct.
Because the discipline of the Chinese Navy and the army was seen at the parade as well.
Yeah, so
So yeah.
these
Okay.
are
Okay.
the
Yeah.
sailors. There are about 2,000 sailors on board participating in
Okay.
the ceremony. So those ships can host a lot of people.
Mm.
And
So
this
Xi
is
Jinping is here.
yeah, Xi
Uh,
Jinping personally
yeah,
attended the commissioning
yeah,
ceremony.
yeah. Could you pause it for a second? So
Sure.
so he would have flown to where and then came
Yeah.
here?
Well, I mean, Xi Jinping normally is based in Beijing, right, the capital of China. So
Yeah.
he basically flew all the way from northern China to like the southern
Yeah.
tip of the Highland
So
Island for
okay.
this ceremony. Because, like I say, Hainan is a very important Sanya Hainan is a very important Chinese naval base because he provided the kind of power projection toward the entire South China Sea. And it's also that this area is also because it's near equator, it's also the site for launching Chinese satellites. You know, a lot of Chinese rockets, satellite launching actually take place there.
And how many hours of flight would this be approximately?
Um, so this, so I know from Beijing to Shanghai takes about 2 hours, 2 hour flight, but two 2 hour or 2.5 hour flight. But from Shanghai to Guangzhou, that's another 2.5 hour flight. So from Beijing directly to Hainan, it's going to be more than 5 hours. It's going to be more than 5 hour flight.
Mm.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's go.
China is a big country. China is a big country. Yeah.
That yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We got the naval fleet and the Chinese president. Okay, so he I he looks a little overweight here, no?
Well, I
Like
mean, he is like
I mean,
70.
not the
He's
best
more than
example
70.
of Chinese people.
He's
These Chinese are like very disciplined in their eating and their habits and
he's
all that.
he's more than 70 years old. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's up there in age, and you know, he's not really He's not a really active serving member of the PLA anymore. He was back when he was a PLA officer back in 1980s. He was actually pretty trim, just like all
Yeah.
these sailors here. But now he is like what 70
But you
something.
hardly find any overweight Chinese people because these guys, Chinese, are like really, really good in their diet and how they work and their discipline in their life. So I
Well,
hardly like, yeah,
when you are older, your metabolism slows down significantly,
yeah,
as
yeah. Still
I am
better
finding
than,
out right now.
yeah, still better than us Pakistanis, man. Still way better than us Pakistanis.
Well,
Okay.
I think the diet also play a different part
Yeah,
because I
that's what I'm
think
saying.
The diet
Mm,
has contains more meat and dairy and and
yeah,
more carbs, I guess, more, because
yeah,
there's you consume a lot of non bread, right? And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Naan
yeah,
and roti.
yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
name
yeah,
it.
those the carbs will tend to blow you up. Yeah.
Okay. I heard this. Can you hear? Can you hear this? Can you hear
Here,
this? What
what?
are they saying? Are they
Oh,
like
they're
the
playing
national
the
anthem?
Chinese. They're playing the Chinese national anthem. Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay.
that's a Chinese national anthem called the March of Volunteers. Actually, it was written during World War II, during the Japanese invasion. So the lyrics of the song is literally the Chinese nation is facing its most dangerous moment. Everybody must rise up. Anyone
Oh,
who does not want to be slave, rise up, rise up.
oh. So we've got only the Chinese president from the political representation, no other
Uh,
person.
I'm I'm sorry.
We only had the Chinese president from the political representation, no other person.
I mean, he's the main honcho, right? He's a head honcho.
Yeah,
He's a guy going to be reviewing this ceremony.
yeah. Wow. The march in the parade, the slow march in the parade, that took over the internet. That was way
Yeah,
slow marching.
yeah,
Oh
and
my
they
God,
pick they pick the tallest guy for the honor guard
guy.
too, because Xi Jinping is not a short guy.
Yeah,
Xi
he's
Jinping
tall.
is like
He's
yeah, Xi
tall.
Jinping
Yeah,
yeah, Xi Jinping is 180 centimeters, so he's not a short guy,
yeah.
but they always pick the tallest person for
But the rest
honor.
of them in the behind, you can see they're pretty shorter than these two guys.
Yeah. Xi Jinping is a tall guy.
Yeah.
The other guys, I think they are their company Xi Jinping. Some of them might be the Politburo members. So Xi Jinping is handing over the flag to the captain of the ship. So this is a part of the kind of ceremony. So now they're playing the anthem of the People's Liberation Army. That's a military anthem.
These guys look like the engineers or
Those
something.
those are also fellow Politburo members. So there's like nine, uh, or is it nine? Is this still nine today? I think there's seven Politburo members who are forming the highest committee that basically rule over China.
Mm. This is actually a big, big day.
So the narrator is saying Xi Jinping has always paid very close attention to the development of the China's aircraft carrier program.
Yeah. We're at the platform.
So you can see they have
Yeah.
three.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have so they have like three launching paths, so they can launch three aircraft at the same time. Um, I think the USS-4 has four, but China is just starting somewhere, so not going crazy.
We've got the
So they also have all
AWACS.
the latest gadget on board.
Yeah.
You have some of the fourth generation aircraft. You also have the AWACS planes, which, by the way, in the Chinese naval, aviation, and air force doctrine, AWACS play a very important role. And
Mhm.
as we recall, during the Indian-Pakistani conflict,
Yep. Yep.
AWACS
Yep.
also play a very central role. So those are very important. That's a AWACS. That's a big AWACS plane.
He's having a talk.
And all these planes are now all these planes are indigenously produced in China.
He's gonna see it fly off.
So they're gonna
Yeah.
see the test launch. So you see there's so right now it looks like they're launching a fourth generation aircraft like this one, but you can see in the background there's a J-35 parked. So they're launching the J-16, which is one of the most advanced flankers in the world, and it's right now serve as like the main backbone of the Chinese naval aviation. But there's a shot of right here. There's a shot of
Yeah.
J-35 just sitting there in the
Yeah.
background. Yeah, so that is going to be
So
the
you can also
future
see the
of.
catapult here. The
Yes,
on the right.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Here.
exactly. You can see the catapults on the deck. So again, they're showing off the J-35. Now these shots are all intentional, by the way. They're not accident. They made sure they're showcasing the J-35 on board. So that the guy Xi is meeting, he was a test pilot. So Xi Jinping is saying, yeah, it takes a lot of courage to be a test pilot, courage and skills.
That's
You say you're all heroes.
Look at them smiling standing behind him, smiling.
So
So
these
this
people with
actually
a
gives a
different
lot of yeah, yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead. The
You were
people in
saying, yeah.
front with a different color coded jacket, they're like the ground crew, those who works the deck, supporting the launch of the aircraft. That this is a very kind of similar actually to how the U.S. Navy operates.
So the commander in chief coming down on the ground level with the forces that like motivates everything to another level.
Of course, yeah, I mean that's key. You as a commander, you should always visit the front line and to give morale boost to your troops.
Also saying that you guys are heroes coming from the commander in chief. Whoa.
So she's so they're inside the island, the control room of the island on the ship,
Uh,
and the one talking to Xi Jinping, she's the flight controller. She guide the plane to land. He's a navigation officer.
okay. And people are smiling. What is he saying? What is Xi Jinping saying? What could you hear him
Uh,
saying anything?
yeah. 1 second. Let me roll back to. Uh, so Xi Jinping said, "Are you used to work in the other aircraft carrier group?" And he said now he's transferred to the Fujian aircraft carrier. And Xi Jinping is asking what kind of radar you're working with. Then he said that's a radar he's responsible for, which is used for navigation. It's
What is this? Some sort of a guest book?
it's a lot, yeah, guest book. That's a guest book for
Yeah.
the.
Everything is pretty new, like shining,
So this
buttons
is
shining, and everything shining.
well, it is a brand new ship, so they're
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
him the control room for the electromagnetic catapult. This is an electromagnetic catapult control room.
Mm. Oh, so it's coming from underneath the track.
Yeah,
You can see it in the back. Wow, man!
yeah.
It just appeared from underneath the track.
Mm.
Okay,
So
so
this
the
is a
track.
cafeteria. This is a food.
Wow. Now
There's
everyone's
their
smiling more.
dormitory. Yeah, so he's inspecting their.
uh,
So he
so
said
I read somewhere
they
that yeah.
maintain their. He said they maintain their temperature around 26 Celsius. That's actually pretty high. I prefer 26 Celsius myself, okay, because I don't sleep with my clothes on. But for people fully dressed, 26 is actually kind of high. But again, Hainan is a tropical
Yeah,
zone. Maybe
yeah.
they're trying to save power.
Everyone is pretty happy. Good day today. Boys are happy.
Still thinking about they're setting their temperature at 26 Celsius. That's like my auntie in China. My auntie always set the temperature really high at 26 Celsius during even hottest summer. Like the AC just stuck at 26. Anyway.
How is the world looking at this? How would be the Europe looking at this? How would America be looking at this? Have you read around
Well,
somewhere?
I
Okay, so
mean,
he's going back on a bus, and I think
no,
he's the
he's
only guy in
leaving.
the
Yeah,
bus. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
leaving
yeah,
on his van.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow, wow,
they're
wow.
holding a
Amazing.
send-off ceremony for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So there he goes.
Yeah.
Here it is.
See, that's J-35.
Yeah.
That's a J-35 take. This is a J-16. That's a J-16, and this is a AWACS. So you see like these different aircraft carry different aircraft they're different shape, different size, and the advantage of electromagnetic catapults you can very easily calibrate for the different weight class. Um, so
So yeah, so the last part was after seeing all these images, this huge aircraft commissioned, different aircrafts, huge aircraft carriers commissioned, different aircrafts flying off of it. How would the world be taking this?
Well, I mean, the reaction from United States on social media is pretty predictable. There's a lot of hopium and copium. You can just by saying, "Oh, they just copied us. China copied. They copy everything." And of course, I had to point out, USS Ford can still not launch F-35s, whereas you just saw the Fujian launched J-35 with no problem. And that is going to be a problem for U.S. Navy because you have their older aircraft carrier with their steam catapult can launch F-35, but many of those old aircraft carriers are near retirement age, and with the problem with the steam catapult, like I said, they have it's it takes a lot of time to recalibrate the catapult to launch different weight class aircraft. If they launch F-18 and then want to switch to launch F-35, it's going to take them a long time to recalibrate the steam catapults. Whereas it will be a lot easier on an electronic catapult. And so, I'm looking, let's look forward few more years. So let's say in the 2030s, you are going to have China fielding another aircraft carrier, nuclear powered, and you are going to have these aircraft carriers fully capable of launching fifth generation stealth aircraft. Whereas, the only option US have then is maybe try to extend the life of their old decrepit carriers to keep them in service, because otherwise they will lose the ability to launch F-35, and then they will only have um, fourth generation aircraft like F-18s to counter China's fifth generation aircraft like J-35. You will be like totally unbalanced. And another thing is by 2030, China would have deployed its sixth generation aircraft, stealth aircraft, the J-36. And then you will be even more unbalanced because so far the U.S. equivalent of the next generation air dominance is still at the PowerPoint presentation phase. There's no way they will be able to have that out before 2030. So then the whole the battlefield balance is going to be tipping toward China's favor. So right now, for a lot of the people who still believe in American primacy, believe in the Western primacy, they are their only counter is by producing the hopium and copium, which is quite sad because they also know, U.S. does not no longer have the same kind of manufacturing power you once did during World War II, where you could outproduce everyone. Now the table has turned. China, like use the Pacific War 2.0 analogy. Today's China would be where United States was in 1941, and U.S. will be in the position of Empire of Japan in 1941. So the whole balance of power has shifted and just shifted to the east, and there's nothing U.S. can do about it.